sports podcast with the youngest, most daring, intrepid, gutsy, fearless host on the planet. Get ready for Jake's Takes. Here's Jake.
Welcome back. I am Jake, and this is Jake's Takes, where I get your favorite athletes and stars to open up and speak what's really on their minds. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because you won't believe the guests I have lined up. Today's guest is an absolute legend. He spent 18 seasons as a head coach in the NHL. He was named head coach of the Anaheim Ducks in 2002 and led the Ducks to the 2003 Stanley Cup Finals. In 2005, he was named head coach of the Detroit Red Wings, and in his first 3 seasons, he led the Red Wings to a 162-56 regular season record. In 2008, he led the Red Wings to a Stanley Cup championship. In 2014, he earned his 414th career win, passing Jack Adams as the winningest coach in Red Wings history, and then earned his 500th career win, becoming the second fastest coach in NHL history to do so, only behind Hockey Hall of Famer Scotty Bowman. In 2015, he became head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He quickly turned the franchise around and developed Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner into superstars. Internationally, he won a gold medal at the '97 World Junior Championships. He also coached Team Canada to gold medals at the Olympics in 2010 and 2014. And he's the first and only coach to have won the Stanley Cup, the Olympic gold medal, a World Cup, a World Championship, and a World Junior Championship. Currently, he's the head coach of University of Saskatchewan ice hockey team. It's my absolute honor to welcome to Jake's Takes the legend himself, Mr. Mike Babcock. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Jake. That was quite an introduction, to say the least. You got a little jam and you got a little energy. Good stuff.
Thank you. By the way, we're missing you in Toronto. I mean, how's life in Saskatchewan?
You know what? It's been great, actually, Jake. Since I got kicked off the treadmill, my wife and I and my family have had an unbelievable time. I actually didn't even know life could be this much fun. You know, suddenly you have way more time than you ever had. My opportunity at the University of Saskatchewan is great. My son's here with me, taking his MBA on my coaching staff. And my sisters live 2 blocks away. My in-laws are in Lloydminster, a couple hours away. And it's kind of like old home week. And, I'm actually sitting on a farm just out of Saskatoon right now. Reggie Slobosian, a good buddy of mine's house, just because I was out deer hunting. And this was the closest place I could get, so I didn't miss your show.
That's awesome. Coach, by the way, yeah, so I saw that your son, he's actually one of your assistant coaches. I mean, hey, if he ever steps on your toe, are you watch yourself?
You know what? It's the opposite with my family. You know, the people that love you the most and are around you, they don't mind giving you a good tightening when you step out of line. And that's what it's like with my kids. My kids are older, though. Jake, my oldest girl's 28, my son's 26, my youngest girl is 24, and so they're adults. We have 5 adults in our family, and everybody has an equal opportunity to say so. My son has no problem straightening out his dad, I can tell you that.
Yeah. By the way, do you still have close friends in Toronto?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, we just came into the Hockey Hall of Fame. A good friend of mine, Ken Holland, was inducted, so we came in. And, it was great. We wheeled around our neighborhood there. We lived in the 4 Seasons in Yorkville over there, and then wheeled around, got to some of the restaurants that we frequent. But I went to McGill University, and some of my real close buddies live right in that Toronto area, some of my college roommates. So, yeah, we have lots of friends we're tight with there.
Meeting up with the homies.
You got it, buddy.
Before we talk about your current team, I want to chat about your incredible success in the NHL.
Okay.
You were a huge factor in turning the Leafs franchise around so quickly. But how close were you to not even joining the Leafs? Were you really seriously close to signing with Buffalo?
Well, you know what happened is I was in Anaheim 3 years, and then I was in Detroit for 10. And I didn't want my good friend Ken Holland to have to fire me. And my kids now were done high school, my youngest girl. So they had been there, they're basically their whole life, and they were all leaving. So one was going to Calgary, one was going to Portland, Oregon, and one was going to Boston. And so I wanted to find a spot that I could drive back and forth to my home in Michigan. I'm always going to live in Michigan. So when we were looking at teams, and we talked to a lot of teams, in the end, we just decided that Toronto was a good opportunity. I had a real good working relationship. I knew Brendan Shanahan. He had played for me. He hired me. Yeah. Then they brought on Lou Lamoriello, and Lou Lamoriello and I were real close, and we enjoyed the time there. We enjoyed our time in Toronto. In the end, you'd like to be there to win a Stanley Cup, because that's what it's all about. You always want to win a Stanley Cup when you're in place. I lost in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup when I was in Anaheim my first year. We were fortunate enough to win it in Detroit, lost in Game 7 once too there, but never got the opportunity to finish in Toronto. And saying all that, obviously they got good young players. Matthews and Marner of age, Nylander are of age now, and so their time is ahead here.
I actually want to talk about Matthews. You got to coach him from day one, or should I say he got you as a coach since day one. You saw him as a highly touted rookie, and you witnessed up close the magical 4-goal game. Tell me what it was like from your perspective as a head coach. What was going through your mind that night?
Well, I think just in general, when you talk about Matt, he's a real good kid. He got great parents. Grew up in Phoenix, and there was good players that year in the draft. We were fortunate enough to win the lottery. Mark Hunter was the head scout, and obviously did a good job and made a real good decision to bring Matty. And you get a number one center to your team. It really helps. Obviously, he stepped in. He was a big kid right away. He's a way better player now than when he arrived. Obviously, he skates better, shoots better, plays better defense, much bigger leader. But obviously, he had a huge talent. And when you can step in the National Hockey League and dominate right away, and I think Mitch Marner was much the same, a year older, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Well, maybe the same age, to tell you the truth. But real good players, and players that could dominate the game right from the get-go. Still, when you're a kid, you have a lot to learn, Jake. You have a lot to learn. You know that. And you just got to keep getting better, and that's what those guys have done.
By the way, what makes absolutely no sense to me is that since that night, I think Austin's only had one hat trick. He scores 2 goals so frequently. It's scary. But for some reason, that third goal just evades him, because it's just so annoying. Whenever I'm watching and he has 2 goals, I'm just get it to Austin. Just get it to Austin.
Well, you should have him on the show and ask him about that.
Seriously, do you stop after that second goal? Are you trying to become a 2-goal machine?
No, I think, obviously for him, he loves to score, and you can tell the passion he has. He has an unbelievable shot. It's a good league. And when you're the best players, you're watched very, very closely. And so time and space is a hard thing to create. Obviously, he's that good a player that he can still score under the tight scrutiny that he plays under, and good for him.
By the way, can you compare Austin to any player past or present?
Well, I suppose, I never thought about this. I suppose you could. I've been fortunate in my career to coach a ton of really good players. And, but I don't know if that many guys on their forehand side that can get around the puck and let it go like he can. He can shoot a one-timer, unbelievable. But his ability to get his feet around the puck on the forehand side, coming downhill and shoot the puck, is absolutely elite. Like I said to you, though, he's a big man. He can play without the puck. He's a good player.
By the way, here's a straightforward question, Coach. Do you think Austin should have been named captain? No disrespect to Tavares. He's a world-class guy. But looking back and seeing how Austin's developed, I think he deserves the C.
Well, what I would say to you is, obviously, I was there when that decision was being made. But I guess one way you can go ahead and give it to a guy, or you can go ahead and let other people take some pressure off him and let him develop as a young man. And so, at the start, when John Tavares arrives, he's a pro. He knows how to do everything right. He's a solid citizen who helps the young guys get better. So, that's a decision that was made.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. Okay, I actually want to talk about a player that I know we both love. Zach Hyman. Rumor had it, Coach Babs loved Zach and how he played the game. Is that true? And tell me what makes Zach a coach's favorite.
Well, tell you the truth is I got a whole bunch of favorites. If you work hard and you show up to play every night, you're my favorite. It's just that simple. So Zach Hyman is an everydayer. He does it right every day. So he eats right, sleeps right, trains right, works hard every single day. And in the end, he maximizes the potential the good Lord gave him. So good on him. What did he do for the Leafs? He gave a heavy player to get the puck back for the best players, to be under at the net, to back the goalie in, and just be a retrieval machine, but also to be a guy who led by example, doing things right each and every day. And I think they really appreciate him in Edmonton.
Yeah, he's off to a fabulous start. I mean, like him, hard-nosed winger like that, that's pretty good for McDavid.
Well, for sure. It gives someone to get the puck back for those guys, his ability to play at the net front and then retrieval. So if you shoot the puck and you're one and done, the other team breaks it out, you don't have the same success. If you can have a heavy player that gets it back. Now, there's lots of good heavy players in the league, and some would have better hands maybe than Hymes. But no one works harder. No one's more competitive. No one's going to get the puck back for your good players more than Hymes. And like I said, he does it right.
So, Coach, you won a Stanley Cup with the Red Wings in 2008. And that team was just a powerhouse with Lidstrom, with Datsuk, with Zetterberg, and so many more. As a kid, we all dream of winning a cup. But tell me from Coach's view what that was like as an experience.
Well, you know what? All the greatest things that happen to you in your life, if you have your family around to share it with, that makes it way better. And so I was fortunate that my kids were able to be there and enjoy the ride and share that with me. So was my wife. And what you get to do with the Stanley Cup, number one, is your name goes on it. So my dad's name was Mike Babcock. So his name was on the Stanley Cup. Now he's passed now, but it's pretty cool. I got to bring it home to Saskatoon where I grew up. I got to have a function at the Children's Hospital in downtown Saskatoon. And then I got to put it on my boathouse and let anybody who wanted come by and look at it. Before I'd won the cup, I always said to my wife, there was a young guy who bagpiped around the lake on Saturday nights on his grandpa's boat. And I said to my wife, when I win the Stanley Cup, he's going to bagpipe us around. So we had all these pontoon boats lined up. We had the cup on a pontoon boat. We had a pontoon parade with the Stanley Cup on it and him bagpiping us around. It was spectacular. But I think the opportunity to win and to share it with the community and share it with your friends and all the people that helped you along the way is pretty special.
That's pretty awesome. But how incredible was that feeling to lift the cup? And what was going through your mind besides, Mike, don't drop this?
I can't tell you, to be honest with you, what I was thinking about. Obviously, I've been fortunate to be in a situation to win the cup before. I'd lost in 15 games in Anaheim. When you get a chance to put your hands on that, and you've been through it a long time, it's incredible, to say the least. And to share that with your team, with your coaches, with the owners, with the city of Detroit, the parade we had, all those things are something I'll never forget, to tell you the truth. But the part of sharing it with my family, I can't emphasize that enough. That's the thing that I'll always remember. I remember my dad sitting around the table in Saskatoon hugging the cup.
Okay.
It was pure joy. It was cool.
That's awesome. Okay, Coach. Right now on Jake's Takes, it's game time. We're playing some rapid fire. I'll ask you a bunch of short questions, and you answer them as quick as you can. Deal?
I'm good. Let's get at it.
If you needed to win Game 7, which goalie would you rather have? Marc-Andre Fleury or Jonathan Quick?
I'd like to have the youngest guy in the prime of their career at that time. How's that?
Hardest road building to win in?
Oh, the one you're playing in. No, I mean, obviously, we've had a lot of battles over the years with good teams. I thought when we were in Detroit and Anaheim was real good, I thought that was a tough spot. I think each year it's different based on who's the best team.
Who would win in a fight? William Nylander or John Tortorella?
Well, the good thing about that, I don't have to answer that because that's not going to happen.
Besides hockey, what's your favorite sporting event to attend live?
Have you ever been to a University of Michigan football game?
Nope.
That's a lifetime experience right there. But any game at the highest level, when you're at the Olympic Games and you get to see other athletes compete at the highest level, it's incredible. It's exhilarating.
What scares you more? Unexpected turbulence while flying or having to insert Martin Marincin in the lineup for a playoff game?
I'd say the turbulence. Marty's a good guy.
Seth Jones or Drew Doughty?
Well, I don't know Seth is good. Obviously, I had Dowds at 2 Olympics and a World Cup. I always take winning.
What are you better at? Cooking or folding laundry?
Oh, cooking for sure. I'm not a big laundry guy, but I love to cook.
Describe Brad Marchand in one word.
Awesome guy. Loves his family, loves to hunt. Real good player, relentless effort. Likes to get under people's skin. Marchie's a heck of a guy.
We got a winner! Coach Mike Babcock, you just aced that rapid fire. What was super impressive is how you started on time. How'd that feel, Coach?
It's always good to start on time. I actually like to start 2 minutes early.
So just two more questions for you. Is that good?
Yeah, that's great.
So you're currently coaching at the University of Saskatchewan, and you're no stranger to college hockey. And your team's off to a stellar 7-1 start. You guys are sitting in first place. How have you enjoyed this next chapter in your life and your incredible career?
Yeah, it's been spectacular, but it's the people. And I talked to you about family earlier. The other night, or just last night, I was out with my sister and her husband. And then the next thing you know, we got people over, and I got my sisters and their husbands and their kids and then their grandkids. Being around here and sharing it with families special. We haven't had that. I married my wife. We moved to Moose Jaw, and we've moved ever since. We've never been around family except in the summers. And this has been real special for us. And her mom and dad, like I said to you, are still alive. And for us to get the opportunity to see them, they're 88 and 90 and doing great, is a lot of fun.
Wow. So last question. It's the 2010 Olympics. Team Canada's in the gold medal game. Up 2-1. Dun, dun, dun. And with 24 seconds left in the game, Zach Parise ties it up, sending the game to overtime. You were so close to just winning that game in regulation and winning that medal. Take me into the locker room heading into OT. What went down? Because I got to know.
Well, obviously, we had real good leaders. And, the Graybeards, they were Niedermeyer, Ginla, Pronger to settle everyone down. But the other thing we just talked about, it's going to 4-on-4. There's going to be so much skill on the ice. The game's going to be over in a hurry. And we just talked about one of you is going to be a hero for the rest of your life. Let's get out there and enjoy this thing. And that's what happened. I was just at the Hall of Fame. Iggy talked about it being his greatest moment, the pass to Crosby for the gold medal goal. Would I have loved to win in regulation? Yes. Did we win all the face-offs? Yes. Did someone get under at the net? Yes. Should that ever happen? No, it did. In the end, though, that 2010 gold medal that we won in Vancouver, that we got to share with all of Canada. If you're a Western Canada kid and you get to coach that team and you get that done, it's beyond special. Beyond special. Dream come true.
I can imagine. I mean, like, that would be so sick.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Coach, this has been so enjoyable for me, and I learned a ton from you. Did you enjoy your time with me today?
Absolutely. You know what's impressive about you, Jake, is that you got a lot of energy in you, to say the least. You're doing what you love to do, which I think is so important. The difference between good and great, Jake, is you got to have passion for what you're doing, and that allows you to work harder and longer at it than anybody else. And you're obviously passionate about this. So I enjoyed my time, to say the least. Jake, thanks for having me on, pal.